What if I told you ... The more you chase peace, the further it runs from you. You try harder, you push more, you give it everything you've got, but somehow happiness, calm, and clarity still slip through your fingers. Strange, isn't it? That's exactly what happened to a boy named Koji, a boy who climbed a mountain to find answers. But instead, he got a lesson that would change everything. A lesson most people never understand in their entire life. This isn't just a story. It's a mirror reflecting the exact mistake you might be making right now without even realizing it. Let me tell you what really happened on that mountain. Koji wasn't like most kids in his village. While others played games and chased after distractions, Koji was always watching, wondering, why are we here? What does it mean to live fully? Is there something more than just waking up, working, and going to sleep? These weren't just thoughts to him. They were obsessions, questions that kept him up at night. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and the village lights began to flicker, Koji overheard whispers about a Zen master, an old sage, who lived in solitude at the very top of the tallest hill. They said he knew things most people never even thought to ask. For Koji, this wasn't just gossip, it was a calling. So without hesitation, he set off barefoot and determined, climbing toward the unknown. Because sometimes when life doesn't offer you answers, you have to go looking for them yourself. After hours of climbing, sweat on his brow and dirt on his hands, Koji finally reached the top. There it was, the Zen temple, quiet, still, almost floating in the silence. He stepped inside, and there, seated on a woven mat with his eyes half closed, was the master. An old man with a soft smile, and a strange kind of calm that didn't feel human. It felt like time itself had slowed around him. Koji bowed deeply, his heart pounding. "Master," he asked, voice filled with hope, "how can I find Zen?" The master looked up slowly, eyes twinkling with something between kindness and mischief. Then he said it calmly, clearly, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. 10 years. Koji blinked. 10 years? But instead of being discouraged, his eyes lit up. He could do that. 10 years was nothing for something as valuable as inner peace. But a thought itched at the back of his mind. What if I gave even more? What if I pushed beyond the limit? Wouldn't that speed things up? He had no idea what kind of answer he was about to get. Koji leaned forward, eyes wide with ambition. "But master, what if I work harder than anyone ever has? What if I train from sunrise to midnight every single day? How soon can I find Zen then?" The master looked at him for a moment, as if peering not just at the boy, but through him. And then, with the same calm tone, he replied, 20 years. Koji's face froze. Wait, what? He blinked, confused. Maybe the master misunderstood. So he pressed again, his voice more urgent now. "No, master. I mean, I'll devote everything to it. I won't get distracted. I'll live here, I'll meditate. I'll follow every rule. I'll give it everything I have." Surely that would earn him a better answer, but the old man only nodded gently and said, 30 years. This time, Koji's heart sank. None of this made sense. How could more effort mean more time? Shouldn't total devotion bring him closer to the goal? The harder he tried, the further away Zen seemed to move, like a shadow disappearing the moment you reach for it. And that's when Koji realized this wasn't just about effort. It was about something else entirely. Frustrated but still respectful, Koji finally asked the question that had been burning inside him. "Master, I don't understand. Why does it take longer? The more I try?" The Zen master didn't answer. Right away, he simply looked at Koji with eyes full of patience, like he'd been asked this question 1,000 times before. And then, in a voice soft enough to feel like a whisper in the wind, he said, "When one eye is fixed on the goal, you only have one eye left to see the path." Silence. Those words hit Koji like a wave. All this time he had been obsessed with arriving. So much so, he hadn't even noticed how he was walking. He was chasing Zen like it was a prize, something to grab, something to conquer. But peace isn't a finish line. It's a way of walking. That's when it hit him. Maybe Zen couldn't be earned. Maybe it had to be understood. And that understanding didn't come from speed or effort or obsession. It came from something far more subtle presence. The master could see the shift in Koji's eyes. A seed had been planted, but it needed water. So the old man leaned forward and spoke again, this time in a parable. "Imagine you're climbing a tall tree," he said, "and at the very top, there's a piece of ripe, juicy fruit. It's the sweetest fruit you've ever seen. And you want it so badly, you can almost taste it. But here's the danger. If you keep looking up at the fruit, dreaming about how good it'll feel to finally have it, you might lose your grip, you might misplace your foot, and you'll fall." Koji listened in silence, each word sinking deeper. But if instead, the master continued, you focus on the step in front of you. Feel the bark beneath your fingers. Pay attention to where your hands and feet go, and breathe the air around you. Then not only will you climb safely, you'll enjoy the climb itself. And by the time you reach the top, you'll realize the fruit wasn't the only gift. The journey gave you something sweeter. Awareness, balance, and peace, Koji said. Nothing. But inside he knew this wasn't just about trees or temples, that it was about life. As Koji sat in silence, letting the master's words settle in his mind, something shifted. This wasn't just about Zen, it was about everything. Because in the real world, we do the same thing. We chase goals like medals, desperate to achieve, to arrive, to finally feel enough. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I land that job. I'll feel at peace once I've made enough money. I'll finally be confident when they love me back. But in doing that, we forget to live. We forget to breathe. We forget to be present in the very moments shaping us. We become so obsessed with results that we ignore the process, even though the process is where all the growth happens. Learning a new skill? Don't rush to be perfect. Learn to love the messy first steps. Trying to heal from something. Don't wait for the pain to vanish. Feel it. Understand it. Let it teach you. Working toward a dream? Don't stare at the finish line. Focus on the next step in front of you. Because here's the truth no one tells you. The journey doesn't delay the reward. The journey is the reward. Koji didn't get the answer he expected on that mountain. He didn't walk away with a shortcut, a secret, trick, or a step-by-step method to achieve Zen. Instead, he walked away with something far more powerful, a shift in how he saw the world. He realized Zen wasn't a treasure buried at the end of a long road. It was in how he walked the road. It was in the way he paid attention to his breath, in the stillness between his thoughts, in the quiet moments he used to overlook, in the patience to sit with discomfort instead of racing past it. And maybe it's the same for you. Maybe peace, clarity, and fulfillment aren't waiting at the past end of your hustle, your next goal, or your next big moment. Maybe they've been quietly sitting beside you all along, waiting for you to notice. Because sometimes, the more you chase something, the more it hides. But when you slow down, when you stop grasping, it reveals itself. That's the paradox Koji learned. To find Zen, stop trying to find it. Just breathe. Just walk. Just be here. The path is the answer. So here's the question. What if everything you've been searching for, peace, clarity, purpose, was never lost to begin with? What if it was simply buried under your need to rush to succeed, to get there? Koji learned that Zen isn't found through striving. It reveals itself when striving falls away. And maybe, just maybe, that's true for you too. The world teaches us to chase, to grind, to hustle, to measure life in achievements and checkboxes. But sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to pause. Not quit, just pause. And pay attention to your breath, to your surroundings, to the small steps you're taking, even if no one's watching. Because those tiny, quiet moments, that's where peace lives. You don't have to climb the tallest hill to find it. You just have to stop climbing in your mind. And when you do, you might discover what Koji did. You were never really lost. You were just too busy to notice you'd already arrived.